You know, there's nothing more frustrating than clicking on a YouTube video hoping to find a solution to your problem and you come across the same generic thing that you've seen a million times. You are looking for a front yard solution that doesn't have any grass, but most of the time you're gonna find videos that just offer rock. This is not that video. Well, I've found that primarily there are three main reasons why people are wanting to create a front yard with no grass. And the first reason is it's very shady and it's incredibly difficult for grass to grow in the first place. Second one is, well, if you live in a very hot climate where grass is either a lot of work, it costs a lot of money to irrigate it and water it, it's just really not that possible. And the third reason is, well, you don't want to cut the grass and you want something that is much more low maintenance and beautiful and kind of a one and done. All right, so let's start rolling the design. This design is out of Sarasota, Florida. This is something called a point perspective. You take a picture and you implement the design on top. So while the Photoshop and everything is going, let me introduce myself. My name is Bobby K. I am a professional landscape designer and general contractor, and I help people who are struggling to visualize what their landscaping can be through clear, easy to follow, and installable landscape design plans. I do this all over the country. If you are looking for some help, some guidance, I'm happy to help you. Go in the links below. But let's get into this design, and we're gonna break down three key elements that soften the space, are budget-friendly, user-friendly, low maintenance, and will work for 99.9% of the houses in the United States, whether you got a cold or a hot climate. Let's get right into it. The first element that is going to take out the surface area of just rocking in everything is creating mulch beds. So what you want to do is provide interest with these mulch beds, create cool shapes, make them large, make them small, work with elevations, bring some topsoil in there, take a tamper and tamp it down, and then carve out some areas and pocket some boulders in. Have fun with these shapes and the sizes of the beds so that you are not just bringing rock in everywhere and looking like that Las Vegas desert look that is just bland, boring, and you know, it's just not my favorite. Oh, by the way, stick around to the end of the video because I'm gonna tell you how much this design costs. Let's go on to number two. This is pretty important. Know your planting zone. We're in Sarasota, Florida on this design, which I believe is 9B, but you may be in St. Louis, Missouri like me, which we're 6A or B, somewhere in there. But there are different plants that work for different places, and you'll see that we've got a little bit more of a native-y tropical vibe going on here, which may not work if you're in Michigan. So know what you can and can't plant, but you still stick to the basics of the mulch shapes and the rock transitions and everything else that we're going to talk about. The final thing is light up your investment. I preach this in almost every single YouTube video, but what's the point of putting in something that completely transforms your house, looks beautiful, and then you pull in after dinner and you can't see what you just did, right? You wanna see this, light it up. Take some path lights and line them across the walkway. Put some spotlights on those boulders that you see in this design. All of those things that you put that hard-earned time and money into, you want to spotlight it. You want to have those focal points popping. What if you have a cool bird bath or a planter or a water feature or something that you know is a really cool thing, a cool tree? Put a light on that. So as you can see, we did definitely have some rock in this design. However, it is not rocking the entire yard. By creating those shapes and creating those different pockets with different plants and color, it breaks it up and it is not as harsh. I think rock is necessary for, say, your steppers or some transitional pieces, but it doesn't have to be flooding the entire yard. I just think that's a little too much, and these small little tweaks that I just showed you will make a world of difference when it comes to curb appeal. So if you were to install this design yourself in the front yard, I would budget out for around $1,500 to $2,000. I think it's gonna be somewhere in there, all in with the materials and you doing the labor. If you were hiring a company, I would say around $6,500 would probably get you there. This isn't too complicated of a design, but you are gonna have to pay somebody else for their hard-earned sweat equity, and it's just part of the game. If you don't like this design, if this didn't really speak to you, you know what, that's okay. Go check out this one or this one. I got two different style videos going on here that I think will still be an awesome template for you and give you just a little bit more of options, all right? This is Bobby K saying creation is everything. So go out and create. I'll see you on a video.